What's up, fuckers? Welcome back to another episode of Talking Heads. It's been a while. It's been a little while, but in the time that we've had off, plenty of things have been happening. And that's why today we've got a few guests. Well, I say guests, they are literally owners of the show. We've got Mike here, Mr. Mink. How you doing, Mike?
I'm very well, mate. How are you doing?
I'm good. Good to see you, mate. You look recovered from the festival.
No, I'm not. I might look it, but no, I'm still buzzing from it, to be honest.
Still a little fragile, are we?
Just a little bit. I moved to Bristol this week, so it's straight from the festival, packing down to then move into Bristol. So obviously had a few celebration drinks.
Just a few.
And more drinks. So yeah, today I'm a little bit fragile, I must admit.
Fair play, mate. Enjoy it while you're young, mate, because then fragile bits
become
become...
anymore.
Yeah, honest to God, mate, when you get to my tender old age, like, you're just like, fuck that. Not doing that no more now. Like, yeah, bad outweighs the good. Where did you move from, Mike? Where were you based?
So I moved from Reading. Near Reading. Moved to Bristol now with a few friends. So obviously Neuroheadz is Bristol and most of the boys from Bristol, so kind of made sense.
Yeah, absolutely. You're in the thick of it now then. Let's get going. So a lot of things have happened. Obviously we'll be waiting Mr. Kille, who should be joining us very shortly. And we'll also have Fabian on the call as well, all the way from Austria. Fabian has a brand new release on Neuroheadz. It's the latest release. It's out now. Void and Nothing Will Survive. What fucking awesome EP this is, Mike.
Yes, it's one of my favorites, to be fair. When he sent them over, we were in Ben's room. We were just going through some tunes through the studio, and he just sent them through. And I was like, well, we'll pop these through the studio to see how they sound. And they were just fucking amazing. I was like, we have to sign these right now. And we literally did that evening. So, yeah, personal favorite of mine is Nothing Will Survive. I've
me too.
Point now where it's getting slightly boring for me.
We need a VIP, don't we? I've been caning that one as well. Let's get Fabian to do an exclusive for us, like.
Absolutely, yeah.
Warm it up a bit. No, it's great. We will be doing a listening party for that today. So if you haven't actually heard it, get out from under that fucking rock, you absolute loser, and get on Beatport and Spotify and grab it. But if you haven't yet, don't worry. We'll be pleasing your earlobes with this filthy nonsense a little bit later. So let's take us back to, well, a few months ago, actually.
Yeah.
Prison Rave. Obviously been a few months since we've had a chat, so we'll cover that as well. Do you want to tell everybody at home what that was all about, the Prison Break rave for Neuroheadz, Mike?
Yeah, so I got a call from Ben saying we found the sickest little venue. It was almost like an abandoned prison / police station in the centre of Bristol. And he was like, we have to do an event here. And he got me on a video call to show me the cells and the main room. I was like, this is sick. Let's try and brand this a prison break, essentially. Promo that we broke out of prison and for a fuck off riot there. And that's exactly what we did.
Amazing event. Yeah, I was lucky enough to obviously be one of the participants in playing there. Absolutely bizarre venue to use, but for me, that's what captures going to an event. It's got to be a little bit special and a little bit different. And you could even go in and out of the actual cells that were there as well, couldn't you? So just part of the chill out. What lineup did we have on that as well? It was obviously Mel played from Ram Records.
We had the Stonks Boys, Kaiser and Flow. Obviously, you had the Neuroheadz.
Traced as well.
Traced, of course. And
partner in VTO, of course, played a phenomenal set.
Really good set. And then we had obviously Neuroheadz Live, which went off without a hitch. Probably the best set they've done together so far. And that was it.
Yeah, and absolutely brilliant event. Nice to get out of the city for me as well. Obviously, I've been hibernating a lot this year with a new baby, and
it's a little bit.
good to get to Bristol and get mixed up with you guys. I actually obviously came to the after party with you as well, and I actually bumped it. Yeah, that's another story.
Yeah, talk about that one.
Bumped into the Expedite boy as well. Lewis, isn't it? Lewis. So first time I met him from Expedite Records, and a few other people. Everybody seems to turn out for these Neuroheadz parties, don't they?
Absolutely. I find that it's always the same group of people as well, which is why I feel like it's so special that every single event is just like the family getting back together and it's like a big pie. Everyone knows everyone and it's great.
That's it. The only thing missing is Vin Diesel when it comes to family there, isn't it? So we need a Fast and the Furious party because it's all about family. It's all about the family. So with this event, then, I mean, you look at that. Obviously, it's the first time putting it in there, first time planning it. Great concept. But in your honest opinion, do you think there's anything maybe you'd change if we were to do a next one there?
Well, we have been speaking about potentially throwing one for Halloween because it's quite a dark and dingy little venue. I wouldn't say we'd use it frequently. It has to either be a niche like a Prison Break, or as we're looking at, maybe like a Halloween sort of theme. Everything went out for like hits, really. I mean, we put the bin, we didn't know where we were going to put the second stage until we actually got there on the night, because we didn't have the bin or the setup to try it in different places. So we were talking about maybe having it in the smoking area, but obviously with noise being in the city centre, we couldn't do that. Then we were going to put it in the cells, but the cells were quite small. So we were just literally like, let's just see on the night. We'll get there, we'll set up, and we'll see what works well. And we actually ended up putting it in the corridor, which worked perfectly. I mean, it was so loud. It still surprises me to this day. But yeah, the setup with the speakers, the rig was quite difficult because the main room, obviously, you're in there. It's quite a narrow room. And Albi system's fucking large. So it was quite hard to fit it all in. I don't think we used the whole system in the end, purely because it was so narrow. So I think if we're going to probably do it next time, I think we probably won't use Albi's system because it was a little bit stressful before the start of the night to get it all in. But other than that, I think everything went really smoothly. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think with the corridor room, I think people didn't know it was there for quite a lot because it was quite far back. But yeah, I mean, obviously when you were in there and it was just like a little gasm of people dancing and going mad with that down there. It was absolutely having it, wasn't it? It was actually getting people to physically find it. I had no problems with the main room. I didn't know you actually didn't use the full system. It still sounded quite loud.
Oh, it was thumping, but yeah, it could have been louder.
Yeah, absolutely. And the drummer went off really well, didn't it? Same drummer.
That set was brilliant. Yeah, the chemistry they had during that set was fantastic. And obviously you can catch it on YouTube. We recorded the whole thing. It's on YouTube now.
Yeah, don't forget to go on there. Obviously all the socials at Neuroheadz with a Z. You can see the full set on there. Is there any audio up as well, or is it just video, Mike, at the minute?
Video and audio. I think the audio's up. I'd have to check back with you on that one, but I'm sure we can get it up as soon as we.
Brilliant stuff. Great stuff. And obviously for anybody watching at home, put a question to you. What is the craziest venue you've ever raved in? Make sure you put it in the comments below and let us know. So what went off after the prison rave? Well, literally a few days later, you boys flew out to Texas, didn't you? Yeehaw and all that fucking shit.
We did, yeah. I was still pinching myself from that week. It was the most surreal week, I think the boys will agree, that we've ever had.
Amazing.
From start to finish, it was just bonkers.
I fully class myself as a touring DJ. For some reason, my whole career, I've had more gigs abroad than I do in the UK. It just is what it is. Do you know what I mean? It's just something that with it. And because of that, I've had the opportunity to obviously play in America quite a few times on some big tours. Couple of things I found over there, they really fucking look after you, don't they? When they bring you over, ridiculous. Absolutely great party atmosphere from them.
Yeah, no, I mean, when we got there, the promoters met us at the terminal, and they had hired a videographer to follow us around, Hooligan. So Hooligan, if you are watching this, big up yourself because you're the coolest guy. And yeah, and they sorted out Uber, took us straight to the Airbnb. They sorted us out some care packages. I won't go into too much detail. They bought a massive cooler full of beers for us.
Dildos and condoms, is that what it's
well, and then yeah, and just from then, Manny, who's the promoter, literally was a phone call away, and he hired us out an SUV for the week, took us to places. They really did treat us amazingly. So there was times of the week we were all just looking at each other like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, why are we being treated like kings? We're just five lads from Bristol who just played neurofunk, you know.
It's very different, isn't it, when you get the feeling of being a headliner? Like when you go to these shows abroad, generally you are meant to feel that way, even though like it's only us, isn't it? You get the feeling like it's only us. Why is this happening? You do get the headliner treatment, don't you? And I think the Americans have really nailed that as well. They know hospitality. They live it, don't they? That's a country that lives hospitality. So it's within them, you know, and it's ingrained. And let's be honest, everybody's fucking lovely in Texas because nobody's nasty in Texas. I told you this before you go, because they all carry fucking guns. It's an open carry license in Texas. So the worst thing you could do is be nasty to someone.
We were in a Mexican cafe in the morning just getting some food, and then just your average Joe would walk in with 2 guns strapped to his holsters. And it was like, it did put you on the edge a little bit, but once you got used to the fact that people just carried fucking guns about, it was all right.
That's it. That's why you never see arguments in Texas.
Exactly.
Nobody. Yeah. You get fucking head blown off, mate.
It's
not going to happen.
No.
Couple of funny stories when I've been to America. Like I say, some crazy stuff's happening. I remember once I was playing in Vegas. I was doing like a West Coast tour, and when you go, have you ever been to Las Vegas, Mike? I haven't. It's
on the list, but I haven't as of yet.
The heat is unreal. It's for not like you had this experience of the heat, obviously in Texas, but it went up to like around 45. And what we were doing is we were playing some gigs before EDC, you know, the big EDC Vegas parties. We were doing that. And obviously I'm out there fucking knocking back the beers all week and stuff like that. And then when you've had about 3 or 4 days, you don't realize when you're exposed to that kind of heat and you're not used to it, what it actually does to you. And I literally got sunstroke, like in the biggest way. And when I say sunstroke, I don't get sunburn. My skin's really good for that. But puking, like literally couldn't keep the thing down. And I spent 12 hours driving to my next gig, which was like, it was Vegas to San Diego. It's not 12 hours. What am I talking about? It was about 6 hours. Yeah. And literally the whole time there, I was puking. Like you sniff air, you puke. You sip water, you puke. Oh,
that's crazy. You say that. That's exactly what happened to me on the 3rd day. We
no joke, that sunstroke, mate.
No, it was like I said, it was like 42, and we've been drinking beers in the morning before heading out to this creek. But we got taken to this taco place, and I thought I just had travel sickness. I was like, this is really bad. And then we got out of the car. I couldn't speak to anyone. I was like, what is happening? And then I ended up just throwing up. But it was like just water, and it was just continuous. Thankfully, I mean, lasted for about 3 or 4 hours. I did think I was dying in those 3 or 4 hours. But then I came round, got home, had a nap, and then got straight back on it.
That sunstroke, mate. Like I said, I had it morning, and it was a good like 8-9 hours of it. I had it. It was insane. I thought I'm gonna have to fucking cancel the gigs by the time I got to San Diego. Like another one as well. I don't know if you managed to do this. Did you meet any famous people?
No, to be fair, we kind of just we didn't really explore the sites and get about really. We kind of just, it was so hot that in the daytime we'd just chill in the Airbnb and just drink, and then we were either off to a gig or off to our own. So we didn't really scope around. So no, didn't see any famous people. No.
I'll show you. I'll get this up on the screen, but one of the main ones I had was I actually met and hung out with, I'm just trying to see it here, Madison Ivy, the porn star. You ever hear about her? You heard of Madison Ivy?
No, I didn't know about that.
Let's see if I can get it on the screen. There you go.
Wow,
that's funny. It's one of my claim to fame. So one of my friends, who lives there, he emigrated from London to San Diego, and we went to EDC. And basically what happened is her friend, who's another porn star, he went to university with her in the USA. So we went to meet his friend, and she was there as well. She's like one of the most famous porn stars in the world. And we spent a whole weekend with her, like literally fucking absolutely insane. And, you have to just hold yourself back from explaining just how many times you masturbated to it kind of thing. But you're dying to do it. As soon as I posted on Facebook, everyone's like, did you tell her how many wanks you had to her? It's like, no. But yeah, because those were my American claim to fames, I think. But yeah, you even had some VIPs to Andy C as well, didn't you?
We did, yeah. So I think me and Ben met Aaron, the drummer, at the airport, and he mentioned the fact that Andy C was actually performing on the same night as us in Austin, and we were like, that's weird. And we looked at the venue of where he was performing. It was literally like a 10-minute Uber from where we were performing. So we checked set times, and it kind of worked out that we could probably check out about an hour and a half before our set. And Aaron actually works with Tom Piper in like a rap metal project that they're doing. So he literally just had him on WhatsApp and just asked for a couple guest lists. And yeah, we got there, got wristbands, and got taken straight backstage. There was the man himself. Had a couple of beers with them, and then yeah, we were stage side for his set, which fucking went off. It was crazy. I personally hadn't had any sleep for about 48 hours, so it definitely perked me up a little bit. It was crazy. We got a shout out on the mic and everything. And then obviously we went off to our show. So it's a very surreal night, that one, but one that will live with me forever.
So let me get this straight then. Both shows, your show and Andy C's show, they were both in Austin on the same night. So both in the evening.
Yeah, same night. So it was about 10 in the evening till 4 hours was, and his was I think 11 till 3. So I think it was just him performing.
Oh, did it affect the numbers obviously at the show you were at as well? I mean, obviously Andy's in town.
We spoke to the promoter afterwards, and he wasn't actually aware of it until obviously everything had been set up. And our venue was like in an underpass under a highway. It was very dingy. It was very dirty. I personally love.
Yeah, absolutely.
Andy was in like a massive warehouse club vibe. Where you had like VIP tables with champagne and stuff, and it was a bit more proper. So I would imagine it did, because I think the venue must have at least had about 1,000 people in there plus, whereas ours didn't have as many. But
yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? Obviously, that kind of communication goes a long way when you get that. I mean, you know, if you look at the possibilities there, what if he said, "Look, I've got these guys going over"? They could have even combined the shows in some way, maybe. Do you know what I mean? That would have been. That would have been phenomenal, but you know, hindsight is a bitch. It's the mother of it all. So, but at least
there, the promoter who obviously booked us, it was his launch night to his label. So, he met us up on the Sunday, just sort of for sort of a catch up and some feedback, because obviously we run events here in the UK. So he just wanted a bit of feedback, and we were just like, do your homework, see who's on in the area, because I mean, if he knew Andy C was on 10 minutes down the road, he probably wouldn't have done that night. So yeah, like you said, hindsight is a magical thing. Yeah,
do your homework, mate. Fucking, how can you miss that Andy C's on there?
yeah. I mean, we got to do both. So
yeah, isn't it? Yeah. So that was the Austin gig. So where was the second gig then?
So the first one was in Houston. This
it.
was a really cool club. He hired us out a party bus for us and all the artists. There's about 25 of us, and it was a large stretched party bus with a strip pole down the middle and lights and speakers and coolers full of beer and the rest. And it went off. It was amazing. We didn't actually want to get off the bus, to be fair. It's 3.5 hour trip, I think. And we were.
And that was between gigs. He sorted the party bus between gigs.
Yeah, the party bus would take us to Houston, and then we did the show, finished at about 4, and then it was the party bus on the way back. But there was about 25 people on the way there, and there was about 6 on the way back, and 4 of them were us. Obviously, we were still sending it. And then you had these 2 Americans who were up to their eyeballs in mushrooms, completely pranging out, led down on the seats whilst we were spinning around the stripper pole and neurofunk all the way back to Austin. We got back at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and then continued to party throughout the day.
Very good. So please tell me we've got an incoming tour video blog. We've got to have a vlog or something.
Well, that's the thing. So obviously Hooligan, who was a videographer, filmed so much. I think he's sending it over to Albie, and then Albie can have loads of fun editing that together. Obviously we had our Neuroheadz story on Instagram, which went down really well. But yeah, no, we have actually filmed everything. So once Albie gets that and chops it together, we can definitely get some content out, because it's definitely worth the views.
Okay, last question about that. Is everything bigger in Texas?
Yes.
That's what they say.
Everything's bigger in Texas. It's strange. The roads are massive, the cars are massive. Everything. It was such a surreal experience, but hopefully nightlife promotions, Manny, and they start getting bigger and we can go back, because
for sure. Yeah, good luck to those guys. Obviously the American guys, you know, with drum and bass, they have it quite hard over there. It's not as big as it is over here. Predominantly it's dubstep over there and kind of electro house and things like that, but it's still on the rise. Do you know what I mean? There's some pretty good gigs out there, and as long as these promoters just keep trying to throw the parties, you know what I mean, they'll definitely catch up to the UK eventually, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So quick question for everybody watching: what are the craziest and maybe best countries you've actually raved in that's not your own? Have you been to America? Have you been to China? Have you been to New Zealand, Russia? Let us know in the comments below. So we have got a very special guest now in the chat with us on Talking Heads, all the way from Austria, I think it is. Is that right, Fabian?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Fabian, otherwise known as Overtune. He has the latest release on Neuroheadz, which is out now. We're going to chat to him today and obviously see what the crack is with the tune. So how you doing, Fabian? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good to hear, my friend. Good to hear. So this is your debut release, isn't it? Not just on Neuroheadz, but your actual first proper release. How does that feel?
Yeah, so obviously it feels really amazing. Like I never thought I would get this far. Like started it all just for fun, and now we are here. Yeah.
Excellent stuff. So obviously we're at the beginning of your journey here, so no better place to start that than on the Neuroheadz label. But are you actually working on any other music right now for the future as well? Can we see a follow-up to this release anywhere?
Yeah, obviously I'm trying to like put out releases after this, and I just finished a track this week. Like I'm planning on doing maybe a free download on Soundcloud or something. Like I'm not sure yet, but
you send it to us, Fabian.
Yeah, but I also got some other tracks that are like 80-90% done, but we just missed it last bit, and I'm sure I will release something soon.
Excellent. Well, obviously we're very much going to be looking forward to those. It is all about the Neuroheadz release today. This is absolutely phenomenal. Me and Mike were just talking about Nothing Will Survive, standout track. I think we've absolutely hammered it. You know, we're probably going to ask you for a VIP of this soon because we've played it that much.
Nothing Will Survive. When I heard that for the first time, I was like, this is fucking amazing. And I must have played it about 5 times a day for weeks. So yeah, VIP first, that'd be brilliant, because you need to be a bit more fresher. But yeah, no, just 2 amazing tracks. And I was wondering how long you've been producing for to get to this point. Like how long have you been doing music for?
So like I'm DJing since I'm 17, I think, like 2017.
Yeah.
And producing maybe 2 years.
Wow.
About. Yeah.
That's some phenomenal growth you've had there in just under 2 years. I mean, obviously the tracks are very high quality as well. Have you been doing any tutorials or anything like that with any big names to actually help?
Yes, so I'm actually subscribed on Patreon to Teddy Killers and Aggressive Punks as well. Like they're doing some really good tutorials, so I learned a lot from them.
Excellent.
Yeah,
I love what a lot of these producers are doing. They're actually giving back to the scene, aren't they? They're helping young producers to come through, and that's what's going to make neurofunk thrive all around the world if we get more people actually making quality. Because let's be honest, it is the hardest type of drum and bass to make. There's no bones about it. You're throwing yourself in at the deep end there. So do you DJ as well then, Fabian? Yeah,
actually, yes. So I started my music journey with DJing. Yeah, at first I was more into techno and like the free party stuff, and I even learned to play on vinyl, and like I still have like turns here and also like some vinyls, but I don't play it that much now.
Yes.
And then like I fully leaned into neurofunk, and yeah, that's what fulfills me the most, I think.
Excellent. I mean, that's really good to hear that you actually use vinyls as well. There's not many DJs I come across. I don't even think Mike's fucking seen a vinyl, let alone know what one is. So. Not many DJs do at the moment.
No, I'm not very good. I stick to my new form of decks.
Yeah, fucking sync button. So what's the music scene like at the minute in Austria? The reason I asked that, Fabian, is I have played in Austria quite a few times, and obviously it's neighboring city of Slovakia. So have you had any gigs around those places, and is the scene doing pretty well after COVID?
Yeah, so I think after COVID it had a bit of a down but right now it's like coming back with even more people, I feel like. And for gigs, I'm part of a crew myself, like it's named Fasten Your Seatbelts, and so we normally do a party once a month, and that's normally the gigs I play. Like I don't get too many other gigs right now, but maybe this will change in the future. Yeah.
Excellent. And what about, and do you ever play in Slovakia as well, right next door to Austria? Sorry, not Slovakia. Sorry. Let me say the question again. Do you ever play in can't even say it. My voice gone. Do you ever play in any of the neighboring countries as well? Because it's obviously quite close to Slovakia and places like that.
Not yet, but it would be nice. So if someone want to book me.
Yeah, there you go. Contact Fabian, or even come through Neuroheadz. We'll do some bookings for you, mate, over here. We know what's going on. So with those gigs as well, one of the main cities that I played in, as I say, was Slovakia, and I used to play for therapy sessions as well in Austria. Have you ever been to any of those events there?
Actually not. No.
Therapy sessions was a huge brand. It was like dark drum and bass and things like that. But yeah, I don't think they're doing as many out there as well at the moment. Anyway, we're obviously here to talk about the music and the latest release on Neuroheadz, Void and Nothing Will Survive. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a listen to the tracks now. We'll get your thoughts, Mike. We'll get your thoughts, Fabian. So let's start with the first track, Void. So Void, phenomenal track out now on Neuroheadz. Fabian, tell us a little bit about this and how it came about.
Yeah, so like I literally did the track Void in also most of the part in one weekend, and originally it was like an old project of mine, and like I was feeling uninspired, and so I went through all my old projects, and then like literally all the arrangement was there already, so I just cleaned up all the things, and then yeah.
Excellent work. Well, it is a phenomenal track. It's definitely raising the bar for what we've been hearing in recent times on neurofunk. What about you, Mikey? You've played this quite a bit in your sets as well. What kind of reaction is it getting?
I have, yeah. I literally dropped it at the festival, dropped it into Silento, and it fucking went off. I'm going to drop it on the Neuroheadz Instagram in the next couple of days. It's just a shallow in it, you know, it's going to go off anywhere. Yeah, it's wicked.
Excellent work. And of course, obviously, we'll go right into the next track. Nothing Will Survive. Personally, for me, this is the monster of the release. I absolutely love it. Mike is sat there twiddling his penis right now as I'm saying the words Nothing Will Survive. Mike, tell us a bit about your experience with this one.
Oh, honestly, when Fabian sent them through, I think he sent through, Void first. Obviously heard that and was like, if you've got a B-side, we should do a 2-tracker. He sent this through and I lost my fucking marbles, and I do every time. It's one of those ones where you can't really double it at a rave if you're playing it. You should play it out. It's got that old school sort of neuro just rolling, and it's just I fucking love it. Yeah.
Only men will actually understand this if you've been in a rave and you've heard a banging tune, but it's one of those tunes that make you pinch the end of your knob. That's the one. Like that, just like that. Sorry, do you get that reference, Fabian?
Not really.
It's almost like you feel it inside and you pinch the end of your penis to stop you pissing your pants. It's one of those tracks. Listen, we'll listen to the track now. We'll get into this. This is Nothing Will Survive, out now on Neuroheadz. Let's go.
We were the payload to deliver to the heart of our nearest star. That star is dying, and if it dies, everything dies. There is nothing, literally nothing more important than completing our mission.
Establishing new alignment to sound. Returning vessel to original rotation. Warning.
Now.
You will not live long enough to deliver the payload. You are dying. All crew are dying. Returning vessel to original rotation. Negative. Warning. Warning.
survive. Not even stars.
So there we are. Nothing will survive. Here we go. Overtune, over to you. How did you get this one together for us?
Yeah, so with this one, I wanted to capture the neurofunk sound that originally got me into drum and bass the most. So like this 2017 neurofunk, like maybe you can remember Giant from State of Mind. Like this was my absolute favorite track back then, and I just wanted to make something as hard as possible, and yeah.
You did. So
you did. You succeeded, Fabian. No, you're absolutely coming up with some monsters, mate. Like I cannot fault you. I absolutely love this release. I'm so excited to be a part of it, and so excited to see what you come up with next. You know, even after this release, just set any mixes you do, mate. Any little tracks that you're doing, just make sure you send in so I can hear. I'm very excited for your future in all of this.
Thank you very much.
Lovely little guy, Fabian. What a nice guy. As Australians, they're all pretty sound, aren't they? All those guys, especially the neurofunk lot. Neuroheadz in Austria. That's what's coming next, mate. We've got to make it happen.
Wow, we have been speaking to quite a few crews over there for quite some time now. There's been murmurs of us going over, so I'm sure within the next year we'll be over there with all of them. No worries.
Absolutely, yeah. Some of the key places. Austria is quite big for it. Poland. Obviously, like I said, Slovakia is a big place that I've gone to. Romania, the big one is obviously Prague, in Czech Republic. But you have got to be on your game if you're playing in the Czech Republic. They expect nothing less than 15 decks stood on your head, quadruple, triple, singular, dropping every track on your USB at once. If you don't do that, you get kicked out of the country.
Wow, I'm not entirely sure this is common knowledge yet, but you may be seeing Neuroheadz in Prague in the next couple of weeks for a certain warm-up party, but I'm not too sure what common knowledge that is. But maybe ask Ben if we're allowed to say any more on that. But
yeah, very good. Are you guys going down? Are you planning on hopefully playing at one of the warm-ups?
I'm not. No, so we're actually taking the bin to Boomtown. The organisers got in touch with us, and where they do their campsite cleanups, they want to use the bin. And we're going to have a set a day, an hour set clearing up the campsite. We're going to be on the bin, so we're going to Boomtown, and I just haven't got the minerals to do Let It Roll and Boomtown back to back. I send it.
You don't think you've got your wires crossed there, sending you to the clean up area with your bin. He probably thinks you're fucking disposable unit, man.
Probably.
He don't want you playing music, mate. He wants you picking up fucking bin bags.
Yeah, probably.
Gonna borrow your bin. Where do you want the bin? In the disposable part. All right, okay.
Yeah, they just want extra bins. That's all they want. But yeah, no, that's happening. So they've all sorted us out some tickets. So we're gonna go Boomtown, and yeah, I've always wanted to do Let It Roll back to back Boomtown, but I fucking send it too hard at Let It Roll every time. I'm a shell of a man for 2 weeks, and you typically get back on the Monday from Let It Roll, and you're off to Boomtown on the Wednesday, and I just haven't quite plucked up the bollocks to do that yet. So
you got to pace yourself a bit, buddy.
Pace yourself. You've seen me in a rave. I can't. Yeah.
Well, on to the next chat. Unfortunately, Ben can't make it with us. The guy would be late for his own fucking funeral, if you ask me. But here we are. I've got Mike. He'll do, second best. It's all right. I don't mean it, Mike. I love you the most. Don't worry. So let's talk about the festival. Like, one of the things that stuck out for me absolutely massively is the build up to this festival. And unlike a lot, because obviously it is a smaller festival, it was 10 times bigger than last year's, weren't it, to start with? Absolutely huge. And you guys were posting some things on social to show people about the build up and how you actually put it together. Tell us a bit about the build up to the festival, what you guys had to do, what you had to put up with, and the trials and tribulations of that.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, like you said, it was last year we literally, Ben and Joe, whose parents' farm site it actually is, they sort of stumbled across this sort of clearing, and it was sort of cleared and put together within a month, and it was a bit more of a free party. We only had like 100 people cap. It was bring your own booze, and it was a very sort of chilled out, glorified free party, really. So this year we were like, right, well, let's up the capacity. Let's get a second stage in. Let's clear half of the sort of main arena, because last year it was sort of half grass, half concrete and bushes that you couldn't go on. So we dug all that up and made the space much bigger and tried to make it a proper festival. So we had medical staff there, security, everything, you know, and we just wanted to make it more, build on last year, and then eventually, obviously, the next couple of years, build it into something like a mini Let It Roll, essentially, for the UK. That's our goal. And it was only just the four of us for the week leading up to it, which was really tough. We had a lot of problems logistically and physically, obviously, because it's just four of us putting together, you know, 2 stages, things like the festooning, like, you know, the lights you get on the poles, you don't really pay attention to it at a festival, but that took the best part of 5 hours to set up. So it's all the little things you don't really notice that goes into a festival. And then obviously at the same time, we're liaising with 40 artists, you know, 5 to 10 of them are coming from different countries. So it's just trying to advance with them and plan how they're getting to the festival, all within putting it all together physically. It was we did have a one day on Wednesday where we all pretty much had a meltdown, but we got through it. And then obviously when you pull it off like we did, it just makes it all worth it.
Yeah, that's the key, isn't it? As long as it happens and it's a success, as it looked like it was, everybody's talking about it, it does make it all worth it. And even though the trials and tribulations you went through, obviously you're going to come again next year, but it's a learning curve as well. I mean, one of the things I've got to take my hat off to Ben is he thinks of a lot of things, doesn't he? He's very good at obviously that planning, but like you said, even for him, there were still things that obviously you're going to come across, as with any promoter. You know, when you do it on the day, there's always going to be those new things to come across. But every year you're going to learn about these things and perfect it, aren't you?
Yeah. So I mean, I hope Ben doesn't mind me saying this, but we had a bit of a problem with the shuttle buses, because obviously we had planned a shuttle bus going from certain train stations to the festival 3 times on the Saturday morning / afternoon, and then back on the Sunday. And then we had a miscommunication. I thought it was a free shuttle bus, but it was actually included in the ticket when you're buying the tickets. And the reports came back that only 2 people had bought a shuttle bus. So the cost of it, we decided to cancel it. But then Ben forgot to check that it was actually a return, and 18 people wanted to come back on the Sunday on it. So we had a fucking meltdown for about 3 hours, like what we're going to do, because that shuttle bus wasn't available anymore. So it's like, well, we're going to have to go and pick people up at certain times. And then that means we're going to be leaving the festival site on the day, which leaves no one to look after it. And it was a fucking nightmare for a few hours. Obviously, like I said, at the same time as having to actually put the festival together physically. Thankfully, Ben's girlfriend, Katie, found another shuttle bus, and that was all sorted in the end. But it's just little things like that threw us off. And I say it was obviously like a week of planning, but this has been 6 months in the making, you know, putting the lineup together, making sure everything's okay with the council and licensing and stuff. And you know, people don't really notice. I don't think about that stuff when I go to festivals, because I'm just there to listen to the music and get fucked up. But to like really think about, like, obviously we're quite a very small festival in the grand scheme of things. You look at festivals like Boomtown and things like that, and it gives you a newfound respect for the organisers and what they have to do.
I mean, you look at it as well, like if you're a promoter and you put a night on in a club, what you're doing is basically, if you're in a club, 80% of the stuff you have to do at a festival you wouldn't have to do in a club, because you've got to think of everything from the floor, how good the floor is, to cover if it rains, to actually build it. You're literally building it from scratch. You're being the fucking 3 pigs and you're building your house from scratch, aren't you?
Yeah, well, literally on the Monday, it didn't help that it was pissing with rain for the best part of the week. But on the Monday, when we got to the site, because we stayed there all week, obviously, where the tractor had sort of cleared all the bushes, it left massive tire marks on the floor. So there was like a solid 4-inch sort of like tractor marks going across. Obviously that's a guaranteed ankle breaker, so we had to take spades and sort of dig it up and rake it back, and that's at the best part of Monday. Just little things that popped up in the week that we weren't expecting that sort of hoisted us back. But
that's it. So just make note of these for next year, isn't it? It's all going to happen again. So
there's certain things that we're putting into place for next year that we can put in permanently beforehand, so we don't have to take hours doing it for the week, so it would make it less stressful, so we can actually work on, you know, we're not growing the festival next year, we're keeping it the same as what it was, and then we're just going to build on that, make sure that's faultless, which it kind of was, but make it faultless, get more people coming through word of mouth. I think, you know, it went so well that we will be expecting more people. Plus it was on the same weekend as a lot of big festivals, so to have the turnout we did was good, because obviously you had NAS on, you had Hospitality on the Beach, Eldorado, then you had WoW in the city on a Sunday, so there was loads of things going on. So the turnout we had, we were over the moon with it, really.
Brilliant. And you know, that's all the stresses, that's all the trials that you had for it. On the day, it looked phenomenal. What were some of the standout good bits on the day, Mike? Who played the best sets? What was going on at the festival that you saw? Let us know.
Everyone brought it. I went over to the second stage, the bunker. Everyone who's on that stage was bringing it. My personal favorite, probably Cockroach. Cockroach is fucking sick. State of Mind, obviously, were amazing. Pythias. I thoroughly enjoyed our set. That was like, our set was on at 5. Obviously, the gates closed at 4. So when it was our set, everyone sort of came together on main stage, and yeah, it's probably one of the most favorite sets I've played out. It was really good fun. Yeah, the whole day was just wicked, mate.
So that's like that was kind of like the opening set. You know, like they have the open ceremony at Let It Roll. That's you got to do that for Neuroheadz.
Yeah, definitely felt like that when we were playing.
Fantastic. I did see some of the videos. You look like you're having a good time, dancing on the fucking decks and everything. You're going full on Steve Aoki on that bastard.
Yeah, it was so good. Obviously, you had the stage, then we had some hay bales where the MC was, and then you had the rig. So I was fucking jumping on and off the hay bales all day, and it was. There's actually a video of me doing the Macarena during State of Mind while on the rig. So I don't know if we can find that, put this in, but yeah, it was carnage. It was brilliant, and everybody loved it. So that's the main thing. I had people come back to us saying, you know, like, it was so seamless, and on the surface it looked like everything ran smoothly, which it did, but obviously the first few hours was a bit hectic, and we stayed calm and pulled it off. So yeah, couldn't be happy with it.
How's the camping side as well? Because you kind of move that away from this. It looked like a proper campsite, like you would go at a festival.
It was, and it definitely gave off that vibe. I think we had 80 people camping, which last year, you know, we only had 100 people there. So where the campsite was last year, that was the second stage. And then we cut out a huge sort of portion of the field opposite the entrance and put everyone there. And there were some shenanigans in the morning after, I must say, in the campsite.
I wouldn't doubt it. Absolutely wouldn't doubt it at all. But yeah, it's only going from strength to strength, isn't it? And obviously, from what I gather, this has led to a very welcoming decision that Neuroheadz is returning to Bristol on September the 2nd, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, we are indeed. I can't say too much because we are still working on it. But yeah, September the 2nd, back in Bristol. At the moment, that's all we've got on. I think after the festival, we're all just fucked. So I think we're probably looking to just do 1, maybe 2 more nights. Obviously, you've got Virus coming up, so we don't really want to be putting too much on whilst we probably all want to be going to that. So yeah, September the 2nd. I believe Clock Factory. Don't hold me to that. But yeah, that is all I can say for now. But yeah,
excellent. Yeah, obviously going to be very exciting stuff, whatever happens. I've seen some of the artist names being thrown about that we're talking about getting there, and it's getting me all giddy and warm inside. It's the ones come off that I want.
It will be a big one. There's no doubt about that. It's going to be huge.
Excellent stuff. Anything else in the pipeline that you can tell us about, Mike? Come on, spill the fucking beans, son.
Wow, my brain's so frazzled from the festival. I have to try and think. Obviously, you can catch us on the bin at Boomtown.
What's
that? Yeah. Catch us on the bin at Boomtown. We have been asked to bring the bin to the campsite to help with camp litter pickup. I don't know what the crack is. We're just going to go there and tear the shit out of some neurofunk for a few hours a day. So you can catch us there. We've got Mucky Weekender in September. We're performing, and that's about it for this year at the moment. Obviously, we're going to clash our heads and get some more dates in, but I think obviously Ben's on holiday at the moment, and we're all just on a bit of a come down from the festival, so we'll snap back into gear in a couple of weeks.
Well deserved break, mate. Well deserved. Well, hopefully I'll be able to show my face at some of these now. And yeah, you know, the little baby is growing up a little bit. It's allowing me to leave the house, not be daddy as much. I do have another gig this month. Nothing massive, just down in Birmingham. Going to tear it up with some neurofunk, of course. That's going to be going down. And yeah, you'll definitely see me up at Neuroheadz in September as well. But my main job, obviously, is behind the scenes, running the label. Obviously, you heard the brand new release today by Overtune. This is obviously a phenomenal one, but the releases are coming thick and fast. We have literally just sent out promos for the next release. Mike, should we give them a little taster?
Yeah.
What is? Let's do it. Yeah. So this is the next release. We're going to play a little bit of a clip. This one is called Only Cans. It's by Transformer, featuring the man of the minute, Mink.
Featuring me. I'm on a tune with Transformer. You wouldn't believe it.
So there's your clip. We're not going to play anymore. Sorry. Tell us what you think in the comments, of course. This one is out on promo. It will be out very soon. We will announce the dates very shortly. Mike, you got a little story about this. Tell us how this came around, because it is your vocals on this track.
Yeah, so we were at an after party in Bristol. God, it must have been like 7 in the morning. I decided to just whack a fucking crate of Stella on my head and walk around telling people to subscribe to my Only Cans. And Neil thought it was hilarious. Somebody filmed it. And a few months further down the line, we were talking, and yeah, he was like, let me sample that video. And that is what you hear in the tune. So it's a bit of a weird one. Yeah. There is a video of me doing it somewhere that I'm going to have to try and find for promo, but that is how the tune came about.
Yeah, so the cat's out of the bag. No full audio just yet for you. Obviously, if you're a regular at the Neuroheadz night, you've probably heard it anyway. But yeah, this one is a great follow-up. Wait till you hear what we've got after that as well. So we're not just stopping there, but I am, because I don't want to let too much out of the bag. I've been very hard at work while you guys have been obviously running the festival and getting things ready for that. So expect an onslaught of neurofunk from the UK from, well, we're hoping this year to be the up-and-coming label of the year, aren't we, at the awards? That's the goal. That's why I was brought on board, to secure that award and bring it home.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, the way we're going and the effort people can see us putting into stuff to bring neurofunk to the UK, I think, yeah, I think we can do it.
Absolutely. Without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, so I think that's about it, mate, for today. I think we've covered every topic possible. Obviously, we've covered a lot of topics. Make sure you're chatting in the comments. Let us know what's going on. Another thing as well, when I came to the prison rave, just to add in, what I really like, I had a lot of people, I think it was must have been at least 10, 11 people actually come up to me and talk about this podcast. They're really enjoying what we're doing. So if you're one of those people that are listening, get in these comments on the YouTube, on the social. Just tell us what you want us to do on the podcast. We're open to almost everything. Mm-hmm. Mike, almost everything. Yeah, we're open to most. So anybody you want us to interview, let us know. I think generally people love it because of my gorgeous face and my amazing voice. So if you do want to hear more of me, you can hear me on some of my other shows that I'm podcasting as well. I run a show called Yo DNB Wraps. You can find that on Linktree /Yo DNB Wraps. Obviously, there's a dot after the tr.ee/Yo NDB Wraps. Yo DNB Wraps. I can't even say it. linktr.ee/yo DNB Wraps with a W. There you go. Anyway, thanks everybody. Hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure you're liking, subscribing. Make sure you're sharing this on all your social medias. Don't slap your hand too much to the neurofunk. That's our job. And we will see you in September for the next neurofunk party. Catch you later.
It's time to get criminal.